Sadly, the victim in this case was pronounced dead at 5:10 p.m. yesterday at Arkansas Children's Hospital in Little Rock. TAPD detectives are currently at the Arkansas State Crime Lab where they're awaiting the autopsy results of the deceased child. The course of this investigation led detectives to an overwhelming amount of abuse of not only the deceased child but also her 2-year-old brother. At this time, McKenna Cawley has been charged with capital murder and domestic battery in the 2nd degree. Everett Cawley, the children's biological father, has been charged with 2 counts of permitting abuse. TAPD is going to continue to work with the prosecutors at this time to determine if additional charges will be filed or any charges will be enhanced. The Arkansas Department of Child Protective Services removed both the infant and the toddler once this incident occurred yesterday, and the deceased was transported to the hospital by her father, Mr. McCauley. DHS has been on scene with these children and doing the very best job they can possibly to ensure the safety of these 2 children that have been taken into custody. 4:30 a.m. Everett Cawley took his daughter in his vehicle and drove her to the hospital unresponsive. When they arrived at the hospital, St. Michael's had the responsibility of contacting us when they immediately suspected abuse, at which time a TAPD officer responded to the hospital. Once the investigation began and we realized that the condition of this 3-year-old female was so very grave, all of CID and the Criminal Investigation Division was called in. At that time, detectives went to the residence where they located McKenna McCauley with her 2 other children, one her biological child, an infant of 2 months of age, and her stepchild. Once at the residence, officers located McKenna Cawley with her biological child, 2 months of age, and her stepson, 2 years of age. The investigation at the residence led to where DHS was contacted immediately to take custody of the children. As I said, detectives discovered an overwhelming amount of abuse that had occurred to both children, the 2 and the 3-year-old. The deceased child, 3 years of age, she sustained serious, significant, and life-threatening injuries and was transported immediately by helicopter. During the course of this investigation, detectives learned of the overwhelming amount of abuse that the 2-year-old and 3-year-old has sustained. Sadly, this 3-year-old has passed, and the investigation will continue. Ms. Cawley has been charged with capital murder and domestic abuse in the 2nd degree for the 2-year-old child. The month of April is Child Abuse Awareness Month, and we encourage you all to wear blue on Friday, April 10th, in honor of this deceased child and to all other children who have suffered abuse. Currently, Miller County only has 4 foster parent homes. That is a tremendous amount of need in Miller County for foster parents, and if you feel the need, please contact DHS if you're interested in providing a safe and loving home for these children. It's very much needed.